So if you want to take part in our ZD, so you can DM me in my Insta ID. So I will give you the link, then you can join.
So, good morning and welcome to all of you. So today in this session we are going to do GD, and our GD topic is that which of these has more affected the ability of the wheat on the global level. The first lead is that wheat wave, the second lead is decreasing the fertility of the soil, and the third lead is that Ukraine-Russia crisis, and the fourth lead is your choice, any another region. So time for the GD will be 12 minutes and our GD start 3, 2, 1.
Gentlemen, according to me, the Russia-Ukraine crisis has more impact on the wheat production in the world.
export of wheat in the worldwide area, because we can see that Russia and Ukraine were the major exporter of the wheat in the worldwide, and so I think they are not able to export the wheat. So
Gentlemen,
it's a major
I
reason.
partially agree with your point, but we can say that the fertility is one of the important points because we have found that not only in wheat but every crop has decreased so much due to the less fertility, and wheat is one of the prominent as well as the prominent crop. Therefore, it has affected the availability into the market.
Gentlemen, from my perspective, the timing of Russia-Ukraine war is of much more importance because it came from when the market was already suffering from COVID-19 pandemic. Because from the last 2 years, the market was not up to the mark. Although also the production in every country was suffering due to the COVID-19. And in the wake of that, Russia-Ukraine war come, and Russia-Ukraine collectively accounts for around
Yes, I completely agree to
27%
you,
of
and I
wheat
want to add
production.
that the Russia and Ukraine were known as the breadbasket of the Europe, and they were major exporter to the Western countries and also the African countries. So Russian-Ukraine war has
Russia,
affected
though,
the
not only
export of wheat
exporting
in
the
the
wheat,
worldwide area.
wheat to the European countries, but we also need to consider that Russia is one of the global leaders of exporting its fertilizers. So, since the Ukraine and Russia crisis has started, the United States of America has imposed several restrictions. So, this made Russia not to export its fertilizer to other countries, and this is one of the major reason why the countries are not even like they couldn't even
I
produce
totally
their
agree
own
with
wheat
Rahul at this
itself.
point that
Yes,
the
yes,
fertilizer
yes.
is most important for the
Gentlemen,
production of the crop.
Bhai,
Only the
I agree to
production
you, but not completely, because I think
of
that
the
the
fertilizers and all the
Russia-Ukraine
things
war
have
has
not been exported
started
from
a
the
bit
country like
late.
the
So
Russia.
in
Then the
this time,
problem
the
is affected
wheat
and
was
feeling all
grown
over
very
the world,
earlier,
not only the
so
Europe
the
but
need
all
of
over the world.
fertilizer was not
So
very much as
I'm going to
compared
add one
to
more
the
point that
export
Yes,
of wheat.
Yadav.
because
See,
of the
also
Russia
we
war,
need
and
to
because
consider
of the
this
war,
due to
there is
American
many
Ukraine.
countries
restrictions,
who want to
and the
create
ports
the
has
demand
not
more
been
and more
been
because they
opened for
want to just
exports
like
for the
make the
commercial
demand more
purpose.
by
Since we
like
can see
Turkey and
that
Uzbekistan
many
because of
ports
the
in the
export of
eastern
the
side
wheat.
of
But
Ukraine
don't
has
go
been
with like
captured by
India
Russia.
export, India
It
just
is
making the
almost
demand.
impossible
Gentlemen,
for the
as we have
Ukrainian
found
to
that that
export its
fertilizer
wheat to the
play a
other
very
countries.
significant
So the
role,
major
as
stock
one of our
holders
group
are
members said
given to Russia.
that
Yeah,
non-availability of the fertilizer has made the decrease of the availability. Therefore, the
yeah.
availability of the fertilizer is one of the important point. Therefore,
Yes, yes.
it has been
I
reduced.
am totally agree with the Vikrant that Russia is the largest exporter of
Gentlemen, I
fertilizers.
want to
I
add
think
on the point
that
is that the decreasing the fertility of the soil because it's playing a major role. How we can that if we don't have wheat, then how the Russia-Ukraine war will be affected? So the soil, the fertilization of the soil is a huge thing because due to the heat
Gentlemen,
wave,
I
the
think that the
fertilization of the soil
Russia-Ukraine
is
war
not growing
started in
that
the
much. So
last
this
week
is
of
the
the
major reason
February.
of that.
So there was not much need of
Okay, I want to
fertilizer
add
for
more
the
point to
wheat.
the
So I
well
think
that
that
the
Gentlemen,
fertilizer
at
was
the
well
very
the
managed,
same
second
time,
but
export
the
of
what I
the wheat
government
think
of
is
was
the
India, like
fertilizer
the
is
last
also a
year,
reason.
around
What I
the
think
15
is the
production of
main
the wheat
reason
is
is the
very good,
disruptive supply chain
and but now
Ukrainian initiative
the situation
that
has been
disrupted
affected,
due to the
and there just
Russia-Ukraine
little
crisis.
like little changes have been filled like previously 109 metric ton have been filled, but now the 105 there is not much changes for the fertility of the soil. But the main reason is that Turkey, Uzbekistan, and all other countries who are the exporter of the wheat have just controlled the export and just create the demand into the market so that they can gain more and more. And because of that the market fills the demand.
Gentlemen, I
According
want
to
to
the
add on the
Turkey,
yes,
point
yes,
Gentlemen,
is
yes.
that
I agree. I
but
agree.
what I
I
think is
agree.
that Turkey
export
has
a lot of
recently
the wheat.
accepted
World
India's wheat,
second
saying that it
largest
has no
country
that
in
quality.
the
was due
It
to
India
is
the
in the
very
Russia-Ukraine
world
unfit to
crisis.
eat.
exporting
It
wheat.
could
But
be a
do you
This
know
is
why
one
the
of the
India has the
opportunities that
stopped the
other
wheat
countries of the
export?
world
Because of the
may
fertility of the
export
soil.
our own
Because the
grain to their
fertilization of the
nations.
soil was not much of that to the market. So
Gentlemen,
that's why the
all
India
the
has stopped that.
developed countries
So
and rich
here
business tycoons see
fertilization of
this
the
an
fertility.
opportunity to grab a profit on selling and exporting wheat. And as they have done in the cases of vaccine, especially in the case of USA and Germany, where Indian vaccines were banned, because they want to sell their own vaccine. They applied the same procedure in the cases of wheat.
Even I think due
All
to
the
the
big
Russia issue,
companies started
the network
storing the
and the
wheat
internet
so
of
that they
thousands
can
of
sell it
people
later when the
has been cut off by the
emergency
Russia. So
situation will
I
come and the
appreciate your
people will
point,
buy
Govind.
at any rate.
Yes, yes, yes.
I
to
appreciate your
the
point,
public
Govind.
I
And
agree.
in
I
the
agree
case
with
of
the
India,
point,
there
but
is one more reason why the hoarding is being
yes,
taken place. It
India
is due
also
to the
banned
large population of our
banned the
country
wheat
and the
export
BPL
due to
that
this
we have to support.
wheat
So
price
hence we have
increases,
to
sir.
take such actions.
Gentlemen, as we have seen that that Russia is one of our weak, but only Russia would can't able to make availability of all the wheats. There are the other nations who also contribute. Therefore, if the fertility of the soil will be good, therefore the demand as well as the availability can increase by its own.
Yes,
Gentlemen, I would
Vikrant,
like
and
to
Sir,
say that
there is
I
one
have
more
a
point
sir.
here that
I
is needed to be taken into
India
context is the
India has
effect of the climate. And as there are many nations where there is dry spells and there is there the environment is a bit fluctuated, and hence there is a demand that has spiked up, and we are hoarding, and hence due to the Russia Ukraine conflict there is a hoarding of the wheat supply, and hence it can cause the
I agree with
starvation
you,
and
Vinay,
hunger
and I want to add
all
one more
around
point
the
Yes,
that
yes,
world.
in
yes.
the
This
recent time
ultimately,
when the
what Vinay and Narwal told is absolutely right. This ultimately leads to for a pressurized in IMF, because when the countries are in inflation, they generally go to the IMF to get some loan. So here that creates a demand. When the demand of the countries is more, ultimately the supply and the price will increase. So here the IMF has to request the countries who are exporting wheat and other necessary commodities to let them fast, so that there arises no issues regarding this demand and
yeah,
supply
totally
of
Again,
agree.
I
such
would
Totally
like
agree
to
with
Yes,
Vinay
remind
yes,
the
yes.
point
you
of view.
that
And I want
the
to
situation
add
of the
one more
climate
point
has not
about
changed
the
very
Russia-Ukraine
frequently.
crisis is
The
that
Russia
there is
Ukraine
a
war is
very
the major
small and
reason
the
for
poor countries who are
the reduction
not
of
afford
export
the
in
much
wheat.
demand and much prices of the like there is a country like Nepal and the Sri Lanka who have already have created a crisis like situation. And to help the countries like this, we have to just ban the export and help the country small and the poor countries. Because of that, availability of the wheat have been filled in all over the market.
yes,
Gentlemen,
Akash
especially in
Tiwari,
a country
please.
like India, which accounts for 40% of production of the wheat at the world level. So especially India has again revoked its exportation of wheat due to the main reason behind is that the private companies are giving much more than the MSP, which government cannot, and government cannot, especially in India, government cannot compete with them at that level. How this is happening? This is happening because the private company is sold its wheat when the emergency situation will arise and when they will get good amount for wheat. So that the hoarding is
Gentlemen, I
also
think
still happening in a
as
country
far as
like
the
India.
Indian
Yes,
government
yes,
is
yes, yes.
aware,
Actually, the
I do agree
government
with
has
the point.
taken over
What
the
there are
Govind Bhaiya
private
said
players
that
in
availability.
the
So
market, because since there is a
also
great
sometimes
India
demand
also
of wheat
banned
in our country,
the
and
less.
since we have
The
to
many
export
countries
it to
are
other
Russia
countries,
and
the
Ukraine.
government has
So
detailed
India's
and
ban
told
on
the
export
private
by the
players that
private
now
companies is
the
not
wheat
responsible for the
wheat as well as the sugar
regulatory
export will be by
availability
the
of wheat.
government to government transaction. There will be no private
Yes, I
players
agree
in
with
this
all of a
space.
point, but we can say that in order to increase the availability of the wheat, we can use the sustainable use of fertilizer as well as the manure. It can be done so as to increase the same.
Yeah,
Yeah, as told
completely
by
agree.
Vikrant Singh,
This is the
government
this is
of
the good
India has
solution that
taken
we can
and
take
dealship with the foreign
when the Russia
government
and
for
Ukraine
exporting
conflict
of
will be over,
fertilizers to
will
our
be
that
country.
affected
Meanwhile, we have also
that
gone after
this will
after
resolve
that
the wheat
Russia,
production
regarding their
and
fertilizers.
What I feel here is that the thing what we have to do is that being the 40% of the exporter of wheat, we must take some legislation actions in order to remove the hoarding in our country and to make a maximum price above which we cannot sell or any private institution cannot sell the
Gentlemen, I do not agree to you. I
cannot
don't
sell
think that
the
India
wheat. Let
is
me
a
complete here.
40%
So
exporter of wheat.
what I'm saying
Because
is
India
here
has a
it also
well-managed
gives the
situation
India an
and
opportunity to
the
become a
wheat in the
superpower,
country is
to emerge as
India
a
has produced
superpower,
such
because we
expensive
know
itself.
that Sri
So
Lanka is also
India
facing
exports a very
such
large amount
crisis,
of
food
wheat.
crisis,
So that
and
should
by
not take
providing them
the
wheat, we can
the lowest
make
available
sure
price.
that they are with us
I think
diplomatically, and this is
Russia
the soft
should
diplomacy
allow
which we
yes,
can
the
yes, yes.
do.
Actually, Vinay
Due to this,
Narwal,
we
what we
can
need to
also
increase
make profit.
our own demand. Since feeding 130 crore people is not a easy stuff. So all we need to do is keep little reserve with us, and other things can be given to the other countries which are really starving. This will
Yes.
Totally
definitely
agree
give
with
a
Rahul to this
positive
point,
impact to
because
other
there are many
countries such
countries
as
who are directly
Jordan,
dependent on
Sri
the country
Lanka.
like India. Like when we talk about the Bangladesh, then approximately 50% of exported material have been given to the Bangladesh because they need much support, and the Sri Lanka have also needed this. And when we talk about the Afghanistan, because their crisis have been already happened, and more the very a lot of number have been died because of the hunger. So we can create a list of that type of countries which really need the important support, and we can
Yeah,
just process the
completely agree.
material.
So it will be a good diplomacy with the India, and they are the allies of as in the coastal area land. So we can, if we give a lots of the wheat to the Sri Lanka, so there will be the huge impact on. Like the if the China will be attack on the Taliban, then the Sri Lanka can also take help us on that particular point.
Sanatni, I appreciate your point, but I would like to say here is that we know that the Russia-Ukraine conflict is going to disrupt the whole chain of supply and demand, but at the same time, it is the opportunity for India to maximize its yield using the better technologies, R&D, and hence we can become a wheat exporter at a much larger scale, and we can
Yeah.
take this
Yes,
void.
I completely agree to it.
Agriculture
And
sector
Gentlemen,
is
if
one
we,
of
and
the
if,
sector
we
which
can
has
earn a lot of
contributed
money,
and in
exporting
and
a lot of the wheat
farming
and all
research,
over the world.
and
As
we
you know
can
that as you know
by
that
selling this we can make our
exporting
economy
wheat
more
to the
stable, I think.
Russia. So it's a huge opportunity
gentlemen,
to us that we can
if
sell
we see the
Europe
contemporary
the wheat in
scenario,
the
we
European
can assume
nations
that this
also,
is a
as the
cumulative effect
Russia is
of
not
different
doing.
things like
So
COVID-19
we are
pandemic, Russia-Ukraine war.
we become the
Also,
first exporter in
the
all over
decrease
the
in the
world.
production, especially in a country like India, in the prominent wheat production states like in Punjab, Haryana, in those states, which also due to the weather change and also due fertilization as well. So all these factors are playing their role. But the majority, the things which has escalated us into this devastating situation is Russia-Ukraine war, the timing of Russia-Ukraine war, because it come in the wake of COVID-19 pandemic when the
Yeah,
market was
completely
suffering and
agree. Because
trying
we
to
know that
regain its shape.
our country was totally shut down from the 2 year. After that, Russia Ukraine was happened. It's totally involved all around us, and the war is not begun because the thing is that the Ukraine is also a huge exporter from the earth. That's why we are lagging on that.
Moreover, I would like to add one more point here. That is the financial restrictions that have been put upon Russia, and that's why there is no trade and commerce at that much level which it used to be. So it is the Russia and Ukraine conflict that is the major cause of such
Indeed, indeed.
Yes,
huge
yes, yes.
Yeah.
I
devastating.
agree. I
Actually,
agree with
Russian
Vinay sir.
government itself gave an open advice to the United States of America, stating that giving some restrictions, like freeing down some restrictions in for Russia. They will also allow certain ports in Russia which they have been captured by the
yes,
Russia. Like
Kunal,
they will be
USA
allowed
has
so that the wheats can be exported to other countries. But due to the denial of the President Joe Biden, this issue has been in a fuss. So here, the two nations should have coordinately have a relation, like
Time up.
they should have a peace talks between them, so that
Mutual cooperation.
yeah,
Totally agree.
mutual
Okay,
cooperation,
so
so
gentlemen,
that
time up.
these issues can be solved.
Yeah, yeah. That was the good GD and waste cooperated GD done by us. So time up.